everybody, welcome to a new video of James Speed Shop. Back at Henk Groten with this very nice W126 Coupe, or the C126 as some people call it. So this is a 560, it's the top range model. It's the last in the range, so this is a 1991 car. Yeah, very low mileage. I will show you the odometer later on. So very nice color, grey. Belmwood grey, I thought. Fully original wheels. Let's show you the interior. Nice black leather trim. This is like almost full option car, I think. It's air conditioning. There was a lot of standard in these particular models. So you got also memory seats. Nice leather interior. Last series interior. Also in the back, some small compartments, also rear window Rolo, very nice. Electrical windows, of course, heated seats, two-tone horn, and there's a Rolo, and also backer radio, air conditioning. Yeah, it's just a fully loaded car. Look, it's only done 52,000 kilometers, so it's like brand new. As you can see, 560 SEC. Boot space, 510 liters of boot space in the car, so pretty nice. There's 90 liters fuel compartment. So engine wise, there was a lot of changes over the years. So the W126 is built from 1980 till 1991. So that's for the coupe version. The S-Class, SE and the SEL were in 1979. So the 560 SEC came on the market in 1985, and there were a few different versions. So you got an ECE version, a CAT version, and an RUF version. So also power difference were a lot. It was, I got 240 horsepower. That was in the CAT version in the United States, Australia, and in Japan. That was with a compression ratio of 9:1. Then you got also an RUF version. That's a version that you can from factory build back to a CAT version if it was needed. So those versions were mostly only delivered outside of United States, Australia, and Japan. And that is also the high power version, high output version called. That has 299 horsepower. The latest CAT versions, like this one, this is also a CAT version. You can see that here. So this one has 280 horsepower, 279 horsepower. So this particular car had some different ratios. I thought this version has the last one had all a compression ratio of 1:10. Also the high output version had a compression ratio from 1:10. There were also some engine differences, like the ECE version and the RUF version had different camshaft than this CAT version. Also the timing was different, the ignition timing, cam profile was different. So it was a lot of differences in there. Also the higher output version had a different transmission module in it, to different shifting manual. Also the 560 higher output version and this later German versions had also an oil cooler. You cannot really see it, but it's in between here. So a lot of differences. So this has around, I thought, 405 Newton meters at 3750 RPMs and 279 horsepower at 5000 RPMs. So it's still a powerful engine. So the M117 engine has the 5.6 has the same bore, but the stroke is longer, so it's a different crankshaft in it. So that's giving this engine a 5.6 liter. So pretty nice car. I think we should do a test drive in this beauty. That's nice. So let's have a drive. I think always the W126 beautiful car. You got a lot of room in the interior. The only thing what I think is really difference between the W124 and the W201 is that the mid console is lower, so it gives you also a lot more room in the car. I think for me personally, I like it. So 4-speed transmission, 722 free. The codes that were used in the 5.6 were 323 and 350. The 350 was an updated version of the 323, the first one that was used. So like I mentioned, the SEC was on the market from off 1980. Before the facelift model, it was only in. So you got a 3.8 and a 5 liter. Before the facelift, after the facelift model, you got the 3.8 became a 4.2, and you got a 5 liter still and a 5.6. Also, the valves were a little bit bigger. You got also knock control, different controls in the engine. There was also different versions, like I mentioned before, ECE. The ECE, for example, did not have knock control. So the ECE was a European version. Then you got an RUF version. That is a version that you can build back if needed to a CAT version. So there were differences in those engines. So I thought the 3.8 had just under 200 horsepower, 4.2 or 204. I thought the 5 liter 224, and then you got the 5.6s, and they came in 242 horsepower, 279 horsepower, and you got also 299 horsepower. So this is the last version. So between 87 and 91, the CAT version had 279 horsepower, and I thought 405 newton meters. The 405 newton meters at 3750 RPMs, and the max power of the engine is at 5000 RPMs. If you had a version that was an RUF version, then you got 299 horsepower. Also, there were some differences in camshafts. So the CAT version had different camshafts than the ECE and the RUF version. Also, timing was different. The high output version had a different controller for the transmission. So there's a lot of differences in these particular models. So the 5.6, some people their feeling is that the 5 liter version is a more stable and nicer running engine than a 5.6. I personally don't really have that feeling. Yeah, 5.6 is a stroked 5 liter. So yeah, I think you got the benefit that it has is that it gives you a lot more torque. That's the most benefit you got from a stroked engine. So what also is nice to mention is that this engine is a pretty old design. So like the M116, that's where it started with, was in the W108 and the 109. You got a 3.5 liter V8. That's an M116 engine. So that's in 1969 you got a 4.5 liter engine. So the M116 was an iron block. The first M117 engine was also an iron block. So that was the 4.5. So the M117 iron block was only a 4.5 liter up till 1978. That was also in the W116, so the S-Class before this model, and also in the SL version, the R107 or the W107, how you want to call it. So in 1978 that changed, and then you got in 1979 the new S-Class with an aluminium engine block, Alusil engine block, so it's an aluminium silicium engine block. I thought around 20% of the engine block is silicium, and that's used to get a different cylinder liner. So it's not a steel liner, it's an Alusil cylinder liner. So yeah, these particular cars are pretty fully loaded. Also, like this model is a 1991 car. They are, I think it's really nice to drive. It's pretty quiet. If I can close it, I got the sunroof also closed. They are just really nice drivers. I think it's just yeah, you can really feel the difference in between an W124 or an S-Class version. It's just yeah. But also what you can really hear in the car is that there's not much difference between an S-Class and a coupe for the sound of the car. Normally you say if you got an open window style like this and the rubber in between, you can have some air noise or that sort of stuff. It's not really there, so that's pretty good. So for the rest, it's just a really full car. It drives very nice. So what I'd like to mention also, this particular car is for sale at henkgroten.nl. You can see the link below the video. This particular company is really specialized in this W126, also more models, but the most cars they have for sale is W126s, the coupes and the S-classes, the SE and the SELs. And the cars that they sell are just in top condition. It's just everything is just like new. So some people may be seen in the video that there are not the double floor mats in it. They told me they have it. They just have to put it in. Also, like the clock. The clock is a little bit faded from the sun. They're going to renew all the plates in it. So you can see how far this company is going with renewing a car to in top condition. So they sell cars all over the world. So have a look on the website henkgroten.nl. So I think we should do an acceleration test in this car and see how good it accelerates. If you look on paper, the acceleration of the slowest model is 7.6 seconds to 100. The fastest model, so that's the high output version, is 6.9. But this is not a high output version, so I think it should do around 7.2 seconds from 0 to 100. So we shall see how good it is. So let's watch. So let's do an acceleration test. This is W126 Coupe, the 560 SEC. So do 0 to 100 in around 7 seconds. So let's have a look. I got air conditioning off. I got it just in D and in S mode. So we should see if it will shift from off first gear and how good the acceleration will be. That is really nice. So the biggest thing what I mentioned is there's really no wheel spin. So I think this is on 225 wheels wide. Really impressive. So in the first try we did 0 to 100 in 7.4 seconds. I think it's really good. 0 to 150, 50.46 seconds, and quarter mile run is 14.95 with a top speed of 148 kilometers. I think that's pretty good for this car. So I can try one time shifting by hand. I think that's also nice to see how that works, and if it then is better. I thought it was shifting from off first gear already, but we will see how good that will work. So let's see, I got it in first gear manually, so let's have a look how fast it will be when I'm shifting manually. So let's go. So it's just very direct, so that's very nice. So I think I'm pretty impressed. It's a pretty, still a fast car. So 0 to 100 is a little bit slower than in automatic mode, so automatic mode is just the best. I did now 7.8 seconds, so pretty fast car. In automatic mode it does 7.4 seconds from 0 to 100, so that's, I think it's pretty good. So this car weighs in between 1780 and 1820 kilos. So depends on options what you're having. So pretty good results. So beautiful car. drives very good, still fast. I think it's still faster than most people think. But yeah, it's a big displacement engine. Last one on the range. So the engine that came after this was the M119. That is like a lot of engine internals are the same in those engines. Like for example, like crankshaft bearings and all that stuff is all the same. So you can swap a 5.6 crank in an M119 5 liter. That's also what they did with the AMG 6.0 engines. So that's the SL60 AMG engine is an M119 engine with a crank from an 5.6 M117, and it is bored up to 6 liters. So that's how that works. So that is yeah, and they're pretty strong. So if you got like the lower compression versions, they also turbocharge these cars, and it's a really strong engine. What also is like to mention, normally for the people who are more technical in the engines, normally you've got 4 head studs around the cylinder head. These engines had 6 studs around the head. So it's a really strong engine design. It's like over designed, you can say that, but that's because it's an older engine design, and it's just yeah, really strong. They get with these engines easy on stock internals up to 1000 horsepower out of these engines. So don't underestimate this particular engine. It's just really strong. So the M119 difference in it is, of course, it has dual overhead camshafts, and this engine does not have that. It is still the same kind of distribution chain in it. So yeah, really nice engine. So the only thing that maybe became a little bit better in the M119 up to this is fuel economy. So this particular combination fuel economy in this particular car should be around 7.1 liter to 100 kilometers. That's average driving. So of course, when you step on it just like I did before, it will use a lot more. But 7.1 liter on 100 kilometers is still not bad with this injection system. It just yeah, it runs really nice. So if you want more information about this particular car, look below the video. I put some info over there, or just contact me through jamesspeedshop.com. The link is also over here. And if you're interested in buying a car like this, or low mileage W126 or 560 or other cars, have a look on henkgroten.nl. I also put a link below the video. So yeah, it's just a very nice example, this one. And yeah, I will show you how it looks when the windows are open. That will be the clip after this. So thanks for watching, and see you for the next video, next review, or a project video. And see you for the next one. Bye bye. So this view we need to show, of course, and then what the SEC is all about. Windows open. Just when it's a nice summer day, sitting like this, open window style, that's what it's all about. This is what the coupe is. Played the same thing with the CLs. So thanks for watching, and see you for the next one. Bye bye.